Today is December 17th, 2024. And my name is Andrea. This is Geeky Girls Journal. I am so glad that you are taking a moment to spend this time with me today. And if you are new here, welcome in, welcome in. That's the first thing. If you are already a part of the Geeky Girls Journal family, you already know I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing your time with me. If you um, you know what? I don't even need to tell family members what to do because you all already know what to do. Like this, share it out if you want to invite some more friends and family, and subscribe if you have not already done that. If you're already in the family, you don't have to worry about that because you've done that. So, anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. I have to be honest with you guys. I really don't know what I'm going to talk about today. I really do not know what I'm going to talk about today. I was thinking, since we read John 3 yesterday, I was like, you know what? I probably should have started at John 1, but God gave me John 3, so I had to do John 3. So maybe today, maybe we can backtrack. I don't know. Maybe we can backtrack. Hey, Mr. Terry, how are you this morning? Thank you for coming in. Maybe we can backtrack and read, and see which direction we go and see how you all are. Let's start there. How are you all doing? How are you all doing? How is the weather? Um, What's your schedule looking like today? Are you busy or are you just kind of hanging out? Let me see. Let me do a poll because you know I love doing these polls, and I have my laptop next to me as well as my Bible. So I have everything on hand that I need. So let me know how you're feeling in the comments section today. Um, I think I'm just going to take this a little slow. I'm going to take this a little bit slow and just go with it and see how it feels. So, come on in, come on in. I'll give everybody a chance while I'm creating this poll. Um, while I'm creating the poll, come on in and let me know where you're from, if it's your first time being here, all those great things. Yeah. So I was able to chop my vegetables up after the live, and I got dinner started. Not today. I'm talking about yesterday. Today is a new day. Today is a new day. And you know what? We can start this off with questions. Okay, let me slow down. So Christmas is 8 days away. Christmas is 8 days away. That means that we're those of you that are parents, hopefully you have everything that you're supposed to have for those children because they are waiting. My kids did a whole countdown. They are ready, and they're just ready for Christmas. They're ready for Christmas. I'm ready to see the smiles on their faces. I always enjoy that when they get their gifts. So I'm waiting as well, but also I got to make sure I have everything together and everything is ready for my girls. But otherwise, that's what's happening. So I do want to, because like I said, I did John 3 yesterday. So we can kind of pick up, not pick, oh, I know what it was that I wanted to talk about. I know what I want to ask you all. So right before I came on, I was reading this Bible verse, John 1, and I put it on my tab so I can remember. John 1 and 46. John 1:46. And in John 1:46, Nathaniel said, okay, Nathaniel was with his brother, and he was talking to his brother. His brother's name was Philip. Wait, is Philip his brother? I'm trying to remember. Nathaniel was talking to his brother, okay. And he was saying, and Nathaniel said to him, this is John 1, this is John chapter 1, verse 46. And Nathaniel said to him, can anything good come out of Nazareth? Okay. And Philip said to him, come. Okay, Philip is his brother. Philip said to him, come and see. Jesus saw Nathanael coming toward him and said of him, behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no deceit. So the first thing that I thought was kind of interesting was chapter 1, verse 46, when he said, can anything good come out of Nazareth? And I don't know, that always just really captured my attention because this is the Messiah, right? This is Messiah that we're talking about, the person who's going to save the world. We're talking about the Son of God. And he's like, can anything good come out of Nazareth? Okay, so Nazareth is this small city or small town. And I guess not too many things happen there, not a lot is going on. And so people, when he said Nazareth, he's like, what? Can anything good come out of Nazareth? So that's a question sometimes I think that you may ask yourself, or maybe people kind of wonder the same about you, right? And if God has blessed you and given you gifts and given you favor and things like that, people may look at you and question and be like, you know what, like she's just from that small town, or she's just from that place. Just you can fill in the blank. She's from that place. Like, I wonder, then they kind of question your ability to, be who God has called you to be, because you may be from this particular area. So that's how it looks like they started out with Jesus. Like, he's questioning, like, wait a minute, can anything good come out of Nazareth? So we're talking about somebody who came from Nazareth. Like, I got to meet this person because I've never heard of anything good coming out of Nazareth. That's almost how it sounds to me. And the weird thing is that Jesus, his beginning was so humble. He was born in a manger and with animals, and you would think that somebody who is going to be a world changer will be born in luxury, right? But Jesus was born in what somebody would probably think is one of the worst case scenarios. Like, hello, mama. Like one of the worst case scenarios. Like, he was born probably by the pigs and the animals, and nobody wants to be born by, like, I'm a mother, and I couldn't even imagine having my babies in, like, out. I can't imagine having my babies outside, because I did have a child outside on the highway. So I can't imagine that. But I couldn't imagine having my babies, being surrounded by animals and things like that. So when he says, can something good come out of Nazareth? I don't know. It just kind of puts things into perspective as, the way that Jesus came to be. Like, he came in humble beginnings. He didn't come in a lavish, he wasn't born in a palace, and he wasn't wrapped in, the royal fabrics and things like that. He was born in a manger in Nazareth. And people were questioning, like, who is this person who's coming out of Nazareth? Like, they were looking for a king, and I believe during that time, what's his name? I can't think of the king's name right now. I think it starts with an H. What was his name? King. Oh man, I should know it. My pastor, like, it has been doing a series. It starts with an H, I thought. Mr. Terry. Hey, Mr. Terry, go to the Shorts tab of Geeky Girls Journal's YouTube channel. Yes, go to the Shorts tab, because I put out some new shorts. I think you're gonna like it. I had to type in what the name of the king was, because I can't remember what his name was all of a sudden. What was the name of the king? Let me see. Was the king's name? Okay, this should give it to me. Yeah. Herod. Thank you, Ma. I knew you knew. Yeah, King Herod. I knew it was an H. I'm like, what is his name? I was thinking Hamlet and everything else except for Herod. So Herod, and we all know he was, pompous, and he did what he did. If you want to know about King Herod, go and read about him. I don't want to make this live about it. I just, he was trying to appease both sides, basically, because I think he was, I'm trying to remember, he was half Jewish and Roman. I think he was trying to play both sides. And I'm a dinosaur. Okay, Harley. Welcome in, Harley. Welcome in. I said, welcome in, Harley. How are you? So anyway, I was reading that verse. Nathaniel said to him, can anything, I think I should jump up in verse 40. Let me see where a good place to start is. Okay. 40, verse 40 is probably a good place to start. No, it's not. 39 is a good place to start, so I can give you all a little bit of a background. I'm good. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for asking. It says, they said to him, Rabbi, this is verse 38, which is to say, when translated, teacher, where are you staying? This is the New King James Version that I'm reading from. And I know, you all know I like to go back and forth between translations, but I'm just going to read this one because I found my old Bible. So I just wanted to kind of use it. and then I will also probably do different translations if I need to. We have found the Messiah. One of the two who heard John speak and followed him was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. He first found his own brother, Simon, and said to him, we have found the Messiah. So they said they found the Messiah, which is translated the Christ. Okay, we know the Messiah is Christ. The Messiah is Jesus Christ. Okay, and he brought him to Jesus. I'm okay. I did something wrong. One of the two who heard John speak and followed him was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. He first found his own brother Simon and said to him, we have found the Messiah, and he brought him to Jesus. So he brought his brother to Jesus. Okay, I know I had to get that right because it sounds a little different. Now, when Jesus looked at him, he said, you are Simon, the son of Jonah. You shall be called Cephas, which is translated a stone. The following day, Jesus wanted to go to Galilee, and he found Philip and said to him, follow me. Now, Philip was from Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter. Philip found Nathanael and said to him, we have found him of whom Moses in the law and also the prophets wrote, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. So they're talking about finding Jesus in it. How was stated? Okay. They're having this conversation about following Jesus and then finding him. And then they go on to talk about where he was from because the brother was trying to tell the other brother where Jesus is from. And he said, from Nazareth. Then from there, they say, okay. And then he's like, oh, okay. He's from Nazareth. Like, can any good thing come out of Nazareth? So as I was told in the chat, we know this was during the time with King Herod, right? King Herod was powerful. And he also was the king that caused the trying to think of a way to say it on YouTube, caused unalive. He caused many children during that time, children of a certain age, to be taken, not taken, but passed. He unalived them. I think we're supposed to use unalived. Okay, so he unalived them. And he did that because he heard that it was going to be a king coming. He didn't want another king to take his place. So he wanted to try to he wanted to be proactive, right? He wanted to try to get to those children and take them out of the vicinity so that he wouldn't have the competition, basically. So now everybody's kind of like, okay, who is this Messiah? I want to find him. Blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of chatter happening. And then Nathanael said, okay, so Philip said to him, come and see. Jesus saw Nathanael coming toward him and said of him, behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no deceit. Nathanael said to him, how do you know me? So Nathanael wants to know how Jesus knows who he is, right? So Jesus answered and said to him, before Philip called you, when you were under the fig tree, I saw you. Nathanael answered and said to him, Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel. And then Jesus answered and said to him, because I said to you, I saw you under the fig tree. Do you believe? You will see greater things than these. So first he was kind of questioning. He's like, I don't know. Let me find out for myself. And, he's like, what I get is because he's saying, does any good thing come out of Nazareth? He kind of wanted to check him out, and then Jesus knew that. He knew he had to kind of let him know who he was, right? So he said, before you came over here, I saw you under the fig tree. And then he goes on to say, I saw you under the fig tree. So now he kind of piqued his interest. He's like, wait, he saw me under the fig tree. And then he knew instantly, if he saw me under the fig tree, I didn't see him, but he saw me. This is my first time meeting him. So he has to be. Then he acknowledged him and he said, you are the Son of God. He knew instantly that he is the Son of God because Jesus told him what he was doing before he even met him in the natural sense. So I wonder, like, when we are having that type of experience with Jesus, I think I was kind of talking about this yesterday. When we met Jesus, when he meets us where we are and he tells us something about ourselves, just like he did with the woman at the well, he told her all about herself. And he meets you and he speaks your language and he speaks in a way that you can understand what he's saying and that you understand who he is and the magnitude of who he is. And you're like, okay, this has to be the Son of God, right? Because who else would have known that I was under the fig tree? He was probably, maybe he didn't tell anybody else what he was doing or where he was going. And he's wondering, how is it that this person knows who I am? So I wanted to answer this question too, because I know that this is a question that I've heard many people ask, right? And I just want to answer it with this verse. All right, I want to make sure I am. Okay. Some people want to know, how do you know that Jesus existed with God or that he was there with God? And I want to read John 1, John 1, John chapter 1, this verse 1 through 5. And this is going to answer that question that some of you have or may have. Hey, Frugal Mama, how are you? Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. Thank you so much. I see you. How's everybody doing? Okay, so you can see that my thoughts are kind of all over the place this morning. And I was supposed to do a poll, but I'll just go back to that. I just want to read First John. I just want to read John chapter 1. That's where I am. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him nothing was made that was made. So this also would answer a question to people who believe in like the Big Bang theory and all those other theories, like if we evolved from whatever people say we evolved from. And this is this this verse, these couple of verses should answer that question for you. It's saying, I mean, if you're reading the Bible, if you believe in God, it will answer that question for you. It's saying he was in the beginning, the word being Jesus. Okay, the word is Jesus, and Jesus was there. So it was a Father, it was a Son, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. They were all there together communing. So I've heard people say, how do I know? How can I? Well, they ask about the Trinity. Basically, they ask about the Trinity. So this right here tells you before the foundation of the earth that they were all together. They were, united. They were a Trinity, and Jesus was there. And then somebody might say, well, how is it that, Jesus was born? Again, this is what I mean, where things are kind of flipped upside down, and we just have to understand that there are some things we're just not going to get, right? We're just not going to understand because we're humans. God is God, and God's thoughts are not our thoughts. And while we can try our best to understand and try to comprehend it as much as possible, sometimes we're still going to have difficulty with trying to put all the pieces together. Because if this says right here, the Word was with God and the Word was God. The Word was also in the beginning with God. And then we know it's a Trinity. So the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, they were all together. So then you say, well, how did God create? How did God create? How did Jesus come about? Right? But it can be confusing because you're like, okay, how did Jesus? He was born of Mary, the Virgin, right? The Virgin Mary, and he walked this earth. So how was he there in the beginning? All right, let me finish this part of the chapter. And it says, all things were made through him, and without him nothing was made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light. And the life was the light of men, and the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. Maybe that's why we don't comprehend it. because before we accepted Jesus, we were in the dark, and that's kind of a hard concept to get. Hey Lula, how you doing? I see you. Hey Lula. All right. So then after all that, it says there was a man sent from God whose name was John. And we know who John is. John, they're speaking of John the Baptist, Jesus' cousin. Remember, Jesus' mom, Mary, was pregnant the same time John's mom was pregnant. I think he's several months older than Jesus. Her name was Elizabeth. And he was born to kind of, set the scene for Jesus, to kind of get it ready for him to um, become the savior. And that's just me kind of summarizing. You can read it in the Bible and find out for yourself if you don't. So let's just read verse 7. This man came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all through him might believe. That's in verse 7. So just what I said, he came to bear the light, to, like I said, set the stage for Jesus, and to get everything ready, and to just kind of um, make sure that in his coming, I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. He was just trying to set the scene. Let's just say that. He was just trying to set the scene and make the path ready for people to be able to accept Jesus. Okay? So he was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of the light. That was the true light, which gives light to every man coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made through him, and the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. Right here, they're talking about Jesus. His own didn't even receive him. Why? Maybe because they were from the same town. Have you ever experienced somebody kind of diminishing your worth because they're probably like, oh, we're from the same town. I remember her when she was, just a little girl, or I remember her when we were in high school, and she wasn't then, she ain't gonna be about nothing now, or he wasn't anything then, he's not a big deal right now. So they just kind of, look beyond what your they look beyond who you are or who you can be, and they say, you know what, I knew who she was, and she ain't nothing, and they just kind of diminish your worth. Well, that's kind of what it was for Jesus in that same area. They just kind of looked at him as, oh yeah, that's Mary's boy, he's a carpenter's son. But really, they failed to realize that he was the one who was going to come and change and flip everything upside down, and um, save, be the savior, right? Be the Messiah, the coming Messiah, the one that they were actually waiting for. He was right there. He was walking along with them, and he was, he was a passerby. And oh, hey, Frugal Mama, how you doing? Did I say hi to Frugal? Hey, Frugal Mama, how you doing? So I don't know. I'm trying to read this because this is my topic today, because I came on here with nothing. So it's really it's really a freestyle. It's really a freestyle, but really I was, like I said, reading that verse, um, chapter 1, verse 46. And it was just saying, can anything good come out of Nazareth? And it was just making me think about all those times that you may have been taken for granted, or you may have been looked past because somebody, just disqualified you for whatever reason. They said, they're just from this place. That's not a big city. They're from that small town, and nobody knows who that is, and nobody cares who she is, And so you may even start to think those things of yourself. If people say it enough, you might start saying, I'm from this small town. Who am I to do what God calls me to do? Or who am I to be a successful business owner? Who am I to be a great content creator? And you might start doubting yourself a little bit. But what I want you to remember is that Jesus came from that humble beginning, and he made a huge difference the same way you can. So I tried to read those verses to try to get to this point. And the point is, no matter how people perceive you, and if they think whatever they think about you, and they think, hey, she's from this place that nobody cares about, and I don't believe she's going to do great things. You have to counter those thoughts, all those negative things that people may be saying about you, and those negative things that you may be feeling. You have to counter them with what God says about you, and you can find that in the Bible. So you have to be intentional about feeding yourself um, loving thoughts and thinking kind things. And you have to be very cautious as to what you allow in your, what you allow to get into your system, basically. You have to be very cautious about those things that you're reading, those things that you, those people that you are surrounded with. And you have to figure out if that person is pouring into your life, or if that person is saying something similar to what they said about Jesus. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? And we see here in the text that they found out that something good comes out of there. So even if somebody is not what's the word I'm thinking about? Not supporting you in your endeavors, and not in agreement with those things that you are doing, you have to remember who you are. You have to remember what you're called to do, and you have to remember what your purpose is, right? So you can't allow. Hi, Anthony. Good morning. How are you? Way ahead of you, Mr. Terry. I did that already. Okay, thank you, Mr. Terry. Thank you, Mr. Terry, for being right on top of it. Um, I wonder if there's anybody in the chat, or anybody who will listen to this replay, that has ever felt like, they were just that person from that small town, or just somebody else who kind of blended in with everybody else. Or happy, good, beautiful morning. That sounds pleasurable. Good morning. Happy good morning to you too. Great. How about yourself? And thanks for asking. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. I I'm doing fine. I have no complaints. Thank you for asking, Anthony. That sounds pleasurable. Hey, that sounds pleasurable. Are you new here? Oh, it's Meredith. Hey, Meredith. I was watching you cut your pineapples earlier this morning, and I'm just, every time I see those pineapples, I'm like, oh, those pineapples look so good. They look so good. So, yeah, Meredith and everybody else, I didn't come on with a topic, but I read this one verse because before I came on, and it was just, um, can anything good come out of Nazareth? So I am, I guess, basing this live on people who have ever felt like they didn't matter. That's kind of the direction. Like if you've ever felt like you didn't matter and you didn't have anything to offer, and I'm not saying Jesus felt like that. He did not. I'm just asking that question because these people, Nathaniel specifically, um, asked or said, can anything good come out of Nazareth? So I wonder if you've ever experienced somebody kind of giving you that same shade, because that's what it was like. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? Maybe they say, can anything good come out of wherever the area you're from? And they're kind of asking to you, like, is there anything that she's done well, or can she do anything well? And if you've ever felt like you were kind of put to the side, or forgotten about, or ignored, you have to remember that God loves you, and you wouldn't even be put on this earth if you didn't have purpose, right? You wouldn't be placed here if there wasn't something special that you are supposed to be doing, or something life changing that you're supposed to be doing. So if you ever hear the chatter, if you ever hear like those negative replies or responses, and some of you may be going through something like that now, where you feel like you're ignored, or you feel like nobody is there for you, or nobody's concerned about you and your well-being. If you feel like that, then this passage is for you. because you've probably experienced somebody outside of your loved ones, or it could have even been your loved ones, unfortunately, saying, negative things to you. And that may be something that you're carrying, something that's hard to break because you heard it so much and you're like, I've heard my entire life that I'm not going to be anybody, or that, I won't amount to anything. So I say to you, if people even said this about Jesus, we've talked about this before here several times. If people even said these things about Jesus and like, hey, you know what? They were basically not studying him. The people who came from his area, they really didn't care what Jesus had going on. Like I said, they looked at him as a carpenter and just the son of Joseph and Mary's child, and they didn't they weren't really that into him. They weren't really that into him. So if you're in a place and you feel the same way, like people just are not that into you, they're not checking for you, they don't care what's happening, then Jesus experienced the same thing. Right? He experienced the same thing. Let me see. Yes, I was that forgotten, ignored person. Oh, I'm saying all the things now, Andre, every day. Thank you all for the confidence. Was good for you. Good for you. I'm glad to hear that. Great. How about yourself? Okay, I saw that. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, Meredith. That's good. You got, look, keep it going. Yes, I was that person. Peaches, I apologize for the last chat in your video. Did not mean for any girls. You're literally speaking my life right now. I don't want to go into details, but we all have a spirit. If you know, you know. I just focus on me mainly. Yeah. You know what? I just did a short about the Anthony too. Like, um, I know I can understand exactly what you're talking about. If you know, you know. It's if you've ever been down that path, this is relatable for you because you can understand that. First of all, I want you to know this before I go off into a tangent because that's possible. I want you to know this. God has not forgotten about you, right? That's the first thing. God has not forgotten about you, and God loves you. And as long as God loves you and has not forgotten about you, you don't even have anything to worry about. Now, I know that we're here living on this earth and that it's challenging at times, and we can go through some things, and we can also deal with some people that sometimes just don't have your best interest in heart, right? And can be mean spirited. And without me knowing what anybody who's listening to this is going through, I just want to encourage you to, I just want you to know that there are going to be challenges that you face, right? There are going to be those things that you feel like you just can't get a handle on. And I don't want to say this and it come off the wrong way, but that's life. That's life. And the challenge is trying to figure out how to maneuver and how to, put set ourselves up in a better situation. And um okay. I see you. Okay. Yeah, so we all have those challenging things that we have to go through, unfortunately, because we are earthly beings and we have to, interact and engage with others. And sometimes those others that you're interacting with and engaging with, are toxic. Are toxic. So it looks like I'm glitching on the computer. Am I glitching, you all? Because on my laptop, it looks like I'm glitching. I'm sorry. I just saw that. I'm trying to look at both screens so I can keep up to date. But yeah, so you have to figure out those people who are in your corner and just kind of surround yourself by them more. And now I wrote something down a couple weeks ago. I'm going to try to find it in here. Hopefully I can find it. Because it was talking about feelings. I don't know. I write so many things down in this little notebook. I'm going to have to look. But I know it's in this section somewhere. Let's see. Okay, I had something. All right. What I wrote down, I'm just going to read what I wrote down. I wrote it in shorthand, so hopefully this makes sense. It says, feed your faith the right thoughts. This is perfect for today. Feed your faith the right thoughts. Feed it good things so that it will grow. It's like a muscle. Then it says, if you are talking and thinking about negative things, and we can also add being around negative people, what do you think will show up in your life? Have you ever felt like there is more for you? Do you feel like there is more for you? So if you do, if you've ever felt like there is more for you and you feel like there is more to come, then you have to start thinking about the right things, surrounding yourself with the right people, reading the right things, right? Listening to the right things, and trying to get yourself into alignment with God, because that is where you're going to find true happiness. That is where you're going to be fulfilled. And while some people may ask, can anything good come out of Nazareth when they see you? Your life is going to show them something different. Your life is going to show them something different. So it's not a like a haha I told you so moment, but more I'm doing what I'm created to do. And when you're doing what you're created to do, you're going to find that it's fulfilling and that you're happy, right? And that you'll then start seeing those people that you need to kind of move out of your life. Now, you don't have to completely get rid of them if you don't want to, but as my mom used to say, deal with them with a long handled spoon. I think that's what she said. She can tell y'all what she said in the chat. But deal with them with a long handled spoon, because you don't want those type of influences. You don't want those type of influences on your life. You want to look at things and let me move this out the way. You want to look at things in a positive light, and you also want to feed yourself those things that are going to help you to become that individual that you are supposed to be. It's that person that you are supposed to be in Christ. And I want to read these comments because I just started going off on a tangent and talking, and I see them moving. Okay, I think this is on top. See, it is. I need to look at my. It's filtered again, of course, you guys. Every time I get on here, I'm telling you, I see the filter, and I saw the chat moving over here. So let me see where I stopped. Buenos dias, proud. How you doing? PMC is in the building. Ooh, I saw that, Meredith. Fear is the root. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Oh man, I missed all this. I'm just gonna catch up with you with your chat, with your comments chat section, to see what I missed. Okay, Anthony. Okay, that sounds special. It's okay, Lula. I just have a weakness when I'm eating. Yes, I felt that way, but God uses ordinary people. Ooh, that's good. God uses ordinary people, and He uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things. Right? He uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things, because through Christ you can do all things. So God matches His extraordinary with your ordinary, and then what you got? Right? Extraordinary. Extraordinary. So, yes, Mr. Terry, this is my new ASMR channel. Oh, okay. You got new. Oh, that makes sense, Peach. I've learned just because you catch hell doesn't mean you have to hold it. Just because someone puts mess on the plate doesn't mean you have to eat it. That's Mr. Terry. I used to be the same, but had to change that because me being that way didn't stop family from still talking about the topics while eating. That's from Lula. Mama Terry. You can't change another person's eyes. You can only control what you present in front of them. What they choose to see is up to them. Very true. The question is, when you look in the mirror, that is the question, Mr. Terry. That is a question, Mr. Terry. The question is, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? Yeah, what do you see? Do you see somebody who's just from Nazareth? And I'm just going to keep using that because that's the part of the Bible we're talking about, that we're referencing. Do you see somebody who's just somebody who was born in a manger, or just somebody who cuts pineapples, right? Or just somebody who comes in the lives and drops reminders? Or do you see yourself as just somebody who is walking around, taking up air, taking up space? Or do you see yourself as a child of the King? Do you see yourself as somebody who can make a difference in this world? Do you? Anthony Johnson, thank you. I love it. Join the family, Anthony. I don't know if you have or not. Lula. Now, when I look in the mirror, I see a sweet lady who loves everyone. I see that when I see you here. I used to see scared, angry person in the mirror. Well, I'm so glad. I am so glad that now you see that sweet individual that you are. I'm so happy for you, Peaches. Glad you changed from that. Anger and fear are not fun to live with. It's a toxic world we live in, Andrea. Yes, it is. Fear is the root of all anger. Geeky Girls Journal, I can see and hear you clearly. No lag, no echo. Thank you. Hello, GGJ. Hello, Proud. PMC, 100% Peach is so true. Buenos dias. It's Peach, PMC. Let's see everybody speaking. Mixture. What up? TSP. Oh, thanks for letting me know. Talking about the four circles of faith. Proud. Salute. Okay, everybody speaking. Trying to catch up. I try to keep pollution of all kinds away from my eyes and ears as well as my body. Absolutely, that's what I'm talking about. Peach, very good. Yeah, you got to keep those things, you know, away from you. And that's just the truth because if you surround yourself with the negative, they call it negative talk now, right? With the negative talk and the negative interactions and the negative people, that's what you're going to take in. And it's also, if you're a positive person amongst all these negative people, it will be hard to kind of sit there and listen to the conversations that they have or to listen to the information that they're spewing. You're like, I'm not about this. I can't be around this. It's almost not even, it's suffocating. It's a suffocating feeling like, oh God, I got to get out of here. So if you feel that way, make your exit. I try to keep pollution out. Have a great day and be blessed. Talk to you later, hopefully. All right, Anthony, thank you for coming in. Jelly is sweet, not jealousy. The one that envies will never see what it hopes is jailed to be. Face circles are the people you regularly worship with. Bye, Anthony. Okay, I don't know if I caught up. Take care, Anthony. Right, a long handled spoon. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. A prayer circle are people you regularly pray for and the people who regularly pray for you. Now, that's important too. You want to have a good prayer circle because sometimes, like, you should pray, right? You should be praying for yourself. But also, when you have those people that can intercede for you and pray on your behalf, that makes a difference. I know I had some praying parents and a praying grandparents rather. I know I had praying grandparents, and I know that it was the prayers of the saints and the prayers of the righteous that kept me safe. I know it was because I was not praying for myself like that. I wasn't praying for myself. I was saying my prayers at night when it's time to go to bed because I was taught to do that, but I wasn't praying for myself throughout the day. Definitely not the way I do right now. So I know it was the people who had a good prayer life that kept me in their prayers and that kept me on their mind and prayed for me continuously. I know it was the prayers of the saints. As they say, a wisdom circle are the people you regularly gain knowledge, information, and wisdom from. An inspiration circle are the people who encourage you to be the best version of yourself. And they're the genuine cheerleaders in your life. And we all don't we need cheerleaders in our life. Thank God for those cheerleaders who want to encourage us and help us move forward and help us, to become that best person, the best version of ourselves. GGJ, thank you for dropping your link, Proud. I see you. Hey, hey. From Terry, GGJ. Thank you, Meredith. I see partial emptiness and reflection of the mirror that I'm trying to make whole, but definitely working on it every day. You know what? I'm glad I got to that comment. I don't know where it is, like how far I am behind. Let me look on my laptop and see how far behind I am before I start talking because, okay, 10:43. All right, I'm only a few minutes behind with that one. So that's good. I like what you said right there, Proud, because you said, I see partial emptiness in reflection of the mirror that I'm trying to make whole, but definitely working on it every day. So yeah, that's a great point because if you see any areas in your life that you can change, that you can make better, or places where you feel like you're deficient or, there's an emptiness or whatever it is, or places that you just need to transform and change, then definitely work on it and, pray about it and ask God what your next step should be and what you should be doing. I'm making a difference in the world. Yes, I'm making a difference in the world. In fact, everybody type that in the chat. I'm making a difference in the world because you have to believe that you are a change agent. Yeah, that's what we call it. You got to believe that you're a change agent. You are not here just to roam about and do nothing. But I think you're here to make a difference. And it can be small scale, it might be large scale. Like the way that you make a difference is going to be different in the way that I make a difference. Maybe your difference is in being mission centered. Like maybe you have a mission. Maybe I think Peach was talking about a movement one time she was on here. Maybe you want to start a movement, right? A healthy eating movement or a healthy lifestyle movement. Or maybe you want to start a movement like me where you want everybody to love themselves and love the person that God has created them to be. And maybe you just want people to believe in themselves, right? And maybe your movement starts at church, right? Maybe your movement starts at home with their children or with their family. Maybe your movement starts in your neighborhood. But there has to be something that, that God's laid on your heart. And you're like, maybe you cast it aside for a little while, but maybe now is the time. Maybe now is the time for you to do those things because something good is going to come out. Something good comes from your hometown, and that is you. Something good comes from that area that you represent, right? I'm from Benton Harbor, Michigan. I am from Southwestern Michigan, and I believe every day that I'm good, that something good comes out of Benton Harbor, right? And some people might definitely disqualify that town, but oh, that town is, woo, I don't know what happened. Back in the day, it used to be lovely. Now it's nothing, and whatever people say about it. But you can take a stand and be like, hey, I'm from that area, and God uses me, and good things come from that area. Or if you're from Memphis, there are a lot of you here from Memphis, or if you're from Pennsylvania, if you're from New York, if you're from Florida, California, wherever it is that you're from, you can be that light, that person that comes from that particular area that makes a difference, that is now affecting the lives of others. Because good things you see come out of Nazareth. Good things come from Michigan. Good things come from Illinois. Good people come from these areas. So, yes, you can start being the representation from that particular area, right? You're the representative, right? And you're the representative that is walking in those things that you are called to do. And you're the one who is like, hey, I'm going to make sure that I put my city on the map, right? I'm the one. I am the one. I heard this a long time ago. I think it was, what's her name? Sarah Jakes. It was Sarah Jakes. And without remembering what her message is about, there's one thing that stood out. And she was saying, I am the one. You have to see and look yourself in the mirror and say, I am the one. I may have come from this place that people don't put on a map because it's not one of those big cities, or it's not somewhere that people desire to go, or somewhere that people talk about a lot, culturally say, hey, this is a place to be. But I came from that place, and I know I'm special, and I know I am the one. I am the person for the job, right? I am the person that can get these things done. You have to say those things about yourself. I'm the person that's going to be the light that God wants me to be. I'm the person that is going to speak life into others. I'm the person that is going to motivate and inspire others. I'm that person, right? I'm the person because what? I'm special. I am extraordinary. I'm gifted. I'm the one that's going to make the difference in your life. I'm the one that's going to make the difference in the person's life across the street, right? You say those great things about yourself. No longer, I'm just from little old Allentown, or I'm just saying words. If you're from Allentown, I'm not talking about you. I'm just throwing out a city. That was the first one I thought about. I'm just from little old Wichita. I'm gonna make up a name. I'm from West Bend Street. right? We know that's not a city. I'm making it up. I'm just from West Bend, and most people that come from this area don't really, do a lot. But you can be that first that you know of, right? You can be the one. You will be the one, not can be. You will be the one that makes the difference. Negative in, negative out, right? Okay, I like that. Negative in and get the negative out. Peach said, get that negative out of there. I have a sermon on my YouTube channel, Circus of Faith. Now, let me look on here because I don't have the comments coming up anymore on the phone. I'm not sure. All messages. Okay. Let me go on my laptop and see you guys. You are all special in here. That's from Lula. That's right, Lula. Face the Ace is from Allentown. Okay. Face the Ace. I hope you ain't hear me say that. I'm not talking about your place, Face the Ace. I'm just saying. Now, Allentown is what I thought about. So that's what I said. You are all special. You are all special. I'm making a difference in the world by showing the world love, victory, and light, not death, darkness, and defeat. I'm not putting my light under a bushel basket. That's right, Mr. Terry. What's that song? Hide it under a bushel. No, I'm going to let it shine. It's this little light of mine. This little light of mine. That's right. Let your light shine. Let your light shine so all men can see and glorify the Father who is in heaven. Let your light shine, because when you let your light shine, it's just going to attract people to you. It's going to attract people to you, and then they're going to wonder, what is that thing? What's that? What is that bright light? Like, what's that glow that she has? What's that glow that he has? Like, whenever I'm around him, I just feel energized. Whenever I'm around her, I'm motivated. I feel inspired. I feel like I can just do anything. Where's that glow? You have to be willing and able to share that glow. Share your light with the world. Don't hide it. Like Mr. Terry said right here, don't hide it in the bushel basket. Don't put it under the table. Don't put it under the rug. Under the rug. You can't hide that light. You have to let it shine bright. God gave you that light, so let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine. Lula, just being honest, I looked, said okay and walked away. Okay. Be your own best representative. Yes. Nobody can represent you like you can represent you. So that's your challenge today, you all. 52 minutes in, I'm only going to do an hour because I'm thankful that God brought something here for me to talk about, because I was struggling. I was on a struggle bus. So yeah, be that light. Be that light that shines in the darkness, right? And don't let people diminish your worth. And don't let them tell you, you are nobody. You just came from nothing. Because the truth is, you are somebody, and you're meant to be here. You're supposed to be here, and you have a job to do while you're here. So do it. However you're supposed to reach others, do that. If you are the person who's supposed to walk around and quote scriptures to people, do that, right? If you're the person who's supposed to smile, or who has a beautiful smile, and every time somebody sees you there, they may be frowning, and then you smile at them and they smile back. I was driving to Philly a couple days ago, and there was this man, and he was on the side of the road, and he had a sign up. And I don't know what the sign said because I was in traffic. I don't know what the sign said. I couldn't stop and read it. But his clothes looked tattered, and he was just walking down the sidewalk, right? He was walking down the sidewalk. And as I was turning, because I'm moving with the flow of traffic, as I was turning, he just kind of had his head down and he was looking. And as soon as my vehicle was passing, he put his head up. So I just smiled at him. And this man's face just lit up. Like, just to see him go to a smile, it just made my day. Because all I had to do was smile. All I had to do was smile. And he replied, or he responded with a smile, right? And I don't know. In my mind, he may have been going through something, right? He may have been, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in that man's life. But for that moment, he had a smile on his face. And for me, that made the difference. I was like, okay, I was able to make that man smile, right? And he smiled. I don't know for how long, because after I went past, I just, I kept on my merry little way. But the point is, sometimes just the smile will do it, right? Or sometimes just a smile will remind somebody in that moment that somebody thought about them. Somebody thought about them enough to smile, or somebody thought enough about them to say hello, or whatever it is you do. It's a small gesture that counts as well. So don't feel like the small things that you do will go unnoticed, or the small things that you do don't mean anything, because that was just, quote unquote, a smile, right? But that smile made him smile back, right? But if I just would have looked like, then I don't know. That sounds so true, Mr. Terry. What's true, Mr. Terry? Let me go up because my chat over here just stopped. You have a radiant smile. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Meredith. Mama Terry. One of my best songs, Let It Shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let's see. Oh yeah, somebody is singing over there. Meredith was singing This Little Light of Mine. Great song. I sing that song. How I miss all this. You are special, PMC. If you think otherwise about yourself, just remember, broski, that you're special to someone else at least. That's right. You all are special to somebody else. It's somebody who loves you, and somebody who is depending on you, and somebody who needs you in their life. Always. um, I sing that song. Great song. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Thanks. I feel like half human, half ghost for various reasons. Oh, PMC. Well, you're not to us. You are very visible to us, PMC. We see you. We see you, PMC. Keep on showing up. Keep shining that bright light. PMC, may your wholeness appear to you. I know. Isn't it sometimes how you can see things? And I'm not just talking about PMC. I'm not talking about PMC at all. This just made me think about it when I read this comment. How sometimes you might feel like, you're like, I'm not that big a deal. But then others see you and they're like, man, that person, I really like that person. I rock with her. I rock with them. And they see that special thing. And sometimes you can't even see it. Sometimes you can't even see it because you're just naturally being yourself. And you don't see that spark or that glow, but other people that you're surrounded by see it. And other people that you come in contact with see it. So that's just my piece on that. Like to make, okay, this gospel song, This Little Light of Mine. Never turn down your godly inner light to make someone else comfortable in their own personal darkness. That's right. Don't turn your light down. If you weren't supposed to have that light, you wouldn't have had, God wouldn't have given it to you. I can get my words out. God wouldn't have given you that light that shines so brightly if you weren't supposed to have it. So don't worry about dimming it for other people. They need to turn their light up. Let them turn theirs up. You turn up. All right, let's see. You have a smile. We must remember, never reduce yourself to make someone else comfortable in their own darkness. Yeah, I read that one. So true, Mr. Terry. Let's see. I am who I intend to be. Others' perceptions of me matters none. That's how I stay living, bro. If I stay any further, I'll be a paradox. All right, PMC. Good morning, Jamia. Happy belated birthday. It was Jamia's birthday. Did you all know that? Happy belated birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jamia. So you celebrated right after we had our party over here. I didn't even realize your birthday was that close to my baby's. Let's see. You might be feeling worth little, but to someone you are everything. Jamia, that's from Peach. You're the bomb. Thank you. You're welcome. You know what? I just had to sing it quickly because I don't know if people want to hear me sing the happy birthday song. But happy birthday, Jamia. I hope God blesses you with many, many more, many, many healthy birthdays. And, keep being that bright light that you are, Jamia. You're the bomb. I'm glad we're connected. Let's see. What else? Sing it, Andrea. No, never dim your light. Hey, Mr. Act Now is in the building. Hey, Mr. Act Now, what up, though? PMC, I think everything is a paradox. Can't have one without the other. It's about making the best of things with what we're given. Yeah, you got to make the best out of a situation, you guys. I'm making the best out of this situation. Like I said, hopefully you all are enjoying yourself. No, I know you're enjoying yourself. Let me not talk like that. That's negative talk. We are enjoying ourselves over here. We're enjoying ourselves over here. That's all I'm gonna say about that PMC. That's it. That's it, and that's all. Happy birthday, Jamia, from everybody. Let's see. Gonna take my lunch break now. All right, thank you for coming in, PMC, and taking lunch break. I'm gonna end it in a minute because I'm really done. Like I'm just kind of hanging out with you all. We're at an hour, and I wanted to at least do an hour today, even though I felt like I had nothing. Turns out we had something to talk about, didn't we? Thank God for Jesus. Gonna take my lunch break now. That's what that says. Cuidate per ahí la paz Dios. No, Dios bendiga. Okay, I shouldn't even try that. I should just let that go. I'm gonna leave that to you, PMC. Hi, Jamia, Shmamia. Maybe peace. All right, Proud said peace. I'm not going to even try to say what you said, Proud, because I will not be doing it any justice. We already saw that. It was a given. Peace. Okay. Hey, Peach. Hey, Lula. Anybody have anything going on today that you would like to tell the chat about before you leave? Perhaps you have a video, a short, or a live stream that's happening. If you're a content creator, if you are not a content creator, thank you just for hanging out and, hanging out with me as I thought about John 1 and 46. Nothing good comes out of Nazareth. Because, like I said, sometimes people can make you feel the worst. People can make you feel the worst and say, nothing good comes, you're nobody. Ain't nobody checking for you. But in reality, most of the time they are checking for you. The ones who say that, they really are looking for you. They really are like interested in your life. They're just trying to flip it and make you feel like you're not special. But why are they so concerned about your life, and why are they worried about your whereabouts and what you got going on if they weren't concerned about you? And why are they making comments? Why is your name coming out of their mouth if they're not concerned about you? I thank you, Jesus, about Voices of Inspiration Choir. Me either, Jamia. Me either what? Let me see. Lula, I don't drink really. Me either. I don't drink. I drink lemonade. I drink Pepsi sometimes. In fact, I want to have one right now. Please listen to the gospel song I Thank You, Jesus by Billy. And I know Pepsi's not good for you, so please don't try to come for me in the chat. I already know I'm not over there cutting the pineapples like Meredith, but I eat them. I had some the other day. Thank you very much. But I am going to have this caffeine in a little bit because I just want some. Mr. and I DJ on TikTok later on today. Yeah, what time was that you were on? Because you said you did 6 hours that time when I was on there. Mr. Acknow, what time are you going to be on the TikTok? Because, I'm rarely on TikTok, but I will try to remember to come over there. I do have a game today. My daughter has a game, but I may be able to catch you later. I don't know. They have replay on TikTok? That's how much I know about TikTok. Can you replay lives on TikTok? Because I know Mr. Acknow was over there DJing his little heart out the last time. He sure did. And he gave me a shout out. Sure did. He's like, hey, YouTube family, Geeky Girls Journal in the house. I was like, hey, Mr. Acknow. I was excited. We must remember shame is the only emotion you have to co-sign for. Shame to have any power. Please don't be the power plant. Lula said, that's good. Just an expression of saying enjoy yourself on your birthday. Enjoy yourself. Jamie, you still celebrating? Do you do like the whole week or the whole month or just that day? I didn't say anything. I love pineapples. I love pineapples too. They are so good. You made me. I need to watch your video from beginning to see how you cut the outer layer of the pineapple, like the outer core, because we had like this pineapple slicer thing, but I can't find it. We bought like 2 of them and they're missing in my house. So I want to know how to cut it with the actual like a knife. So that if that ever should happen, if I don't plan on buying another one, I just want to know how to cut it. So I'm going to have to find the beginning part. Did you do that in the beginning, Peach? Because the part I saw, you were just cutting the pineapples. They already had the casing. I don't know I don't know what you call the pineapple. The outer layer of pineapple was already gone. I didn't say anything. I love pineapple. I've got some lovely juicy pineapples to process today, Lula. No, you can't replay the live on TikTok. Okay, thank you, Jamie. I did not know. I have no idea because I don't know. I just go over there sometime and hang out. It's not difficult, Andrea. Okay, just cut it off. That's what I hear then. Just cut it. I'm just going to cut it. Making me hungry and thirsty at the same time. Peaches. I know, because that sounds amazing. I know, too. All of a sudden now my stomach is growling. And I don't even typically eat this early, but now it's been growling for about 15 minutes now. I'm glad you all can't hear it because that would be terrible. Let's see. That sounds pleasurable. I'll do another one, but I did do a video about how to cut pineapple sometimes this past summer. Okay, so I have to just go back and look and try to find it. We must remember, don't let someone else's vision of you stop you from being the person the great Lord Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit has made you. That is right. Don't let other people's perception and their thoughts of you, their vision for your life, stop you from being who God has called you to be. And not only you know that sometimes, like you can't even get upset with others when they are trying to, well, you can, but you can't really get upset with others when they're like, hey, you should do blah, 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 blah. No, because you should have that conversation with God. What is it, God, that you want me to do? Right? How do you want me to act? What is it that I'm purposed to do? What did you create me for? And get some clarity. And you might not, like I said, you might not get it all at once, but he's going to show you and he's going to reveal it in the time that he needs to reveal it in your life so that you'll know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. What colors are you? You're the artist of your life. What colors are you going to put on the canvas? You're the author of your life. What do you want your obituary to say? Okay, what else? But as a creator, you can download the live and post it on other platforms. Oh, you can? Oh, that's a good thing that they don't have a watermark because everybody does that. And that's annoying because it's your content, but then they stamp it. And now you got to figure out a way to get it off. That happened the other day. I mean, I was like, see, this is why I have so many videos on my phone and then on my laptop because I try to save my original just in case I had to repost it somewhere else. Because if you don't, it'll have to stamp the watermark from whatever platform you put it on. So that's good to know that you can do that at TikTok. I didn't know that. Thank you. Woo. Thank you, Jamia. I went to bed too late. Learn to be the driver of your life. Don't let someone else make you the passenger of your life. All right, let me see. Anything else? It takes many different colors to make a rainbow. Who says that one color is any greater than the other? If we all thought the same, there would be no new innovations or discoveries. That's right. There'll be no new innovations or discoveries. And it looks like this can bring us to the end of our chat. Oh, hold on. Those watermarks they do, especially on TikTok, gives them the right to own your content and not the content creator. I know. You know what? That's a whole nother lie for me. No worries. I just woke up again. Okay. Well, good. Well, you get your rest today and don't work too hard. Everybody, you know what? If you didn't get anything else out of this live today, because I know I was like all over the place with it, but if you didn't get anything else, just the point I would like you to take home is don't worry about other people's perception of you, right? Don't worry about other people's perception of you. What do you think about yourself? Because even Nathaniel, and some others, I know other people question who Jesus was. And, he's just a person from this little old town, born in a manger, around animals, stinking, filthy animals. Probably, if you're somebody who has animals and you're a farmer, I meant no harm. I'm just trying to summarize this part of the Bible. They're probably like, he was born over there. Who has their child in a manger, right? So if they could say those things about Jesus and, not think that he was going to be the special person that he became, they're going to say the same thing about you. And people are going to have their thoughts about you. People are going to have their words. They're going to have those negative conversations about you. You have to remember who you are, and you have to find out, just try to be more in tune and try to get more clarity on who it is that God has called you to be. Because once you figure that out, and once you have a good solid foundation and understand who God is first and who he's called you to be, you won't worry about what the naysayers say. You won't be concerned with other people's thoughts about you, right? Because you'll be so confident in what it is that you're supposed to be doing that you don't have time to think about what everybody else is saying. You don't have time to wonder if somebody thinks you come from a small town and that you're worthless. You won't worry about that because you already know that you are. You already know that you are created to be fabulous and wonderful and spectacular. So I will leave you all with this thought before I go. Mr. Terry says, we must remember just because you catch hell doesn't mean you have to hold it. Okay, so I'll leave you all with this thought before we go. Shine bright. Shine bright like a diamond. In the words of Riri, shine bright like a diamond. Why? Because you are. And so I need you to act like it. I need you to walk like it. I need you to talk like that. All right? I'll see you all tomorrow here, same time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good rest of your day. I'll see you later. Oh, share this with somebody that you think can use this little bit of encouragement. And yeah, I'll see you all later. Let me see. Oh, I see something else. Tony Soprano from The Sopranos said it best though. Who gives a what somebody says behind your back that they don't have the balls to say to your face? That's a very good way to summarize this. Don't worry about what everybody else says. They don't have the guts to say it to your face. And even if they did, why are you concerned with what they think about you? All right. See you on the next live. That's tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a wonderful, blessed day. God bless everyone. Bye. That's what Lula said. God bless everybody. See you tomorrow. Have a good day. And I'm going.